crack myself up. I still haven't found my first Blanton's. That's different. I really like that. They're like together, like peas and carrots. That's funny. Sometimes accidents are good things. Peychauds or Peychauds or Peychaud. This is not what I expected. Hey, how's it going? It's Thursday. It is time to do some drinking. I'm Casey. I'm your certified bourbon steward. And this is gonna be easy. Old Bardstown. This is the 5th in our Willett series. Started off with, see if I have them all here still, Noah's Mill. And then went to the ugly bottle, Rowan's Creek. Followed that with Johnny Drum. And then just last week, it was Pure Kentucky. So this is number 5. Now, there's one thing that this one doesn't have anything in common with any of these. Can you guess what it is? I know you want to hear, well, that was enough right there to get me a copyright strike. All right, all of these are sourced. They are sourced from what a lot of people online think is Heaven Hill. They all have a lot of similarity. This one was probably the most normal, the least amount of fruit in the palate compared to the other ones. But this one is Willett's own distillate. Now, this was evidently a brand that the Willett Distillery had way back when it started in 1935. They had to stop making it during the energy crisis of the 70s, and they didn't make anything new. But they had enough stored that they could put out new bottles, continue to pump out bourbon. And by the time the energy crisis had resolved itself, they were able to get back into business in the 80s. That's also when things started to shift as far as the distillate that happened from Willett. It was no longer these long age statements, right? They had 15-year age statements on Noah's Mill and Rowan's Creek. They had 10-year age statement on Pure Kentucky, and I think a 15 on Johnny Drum at first, too. When they started sourcing from, we think, Heaven Hill, they dropped that age statement. Now it's got to still be 4 years. But everything started being, I guess, they had to make more distillate, right? They got behind because of the energy crisis. So this one is the lowest proof of all of them that we have tried in the Willett line so far. This is bottled in bond, which means it has to be aged in a government warehouse, government inspected warehouse for 4 years at least, 4 years, and it has to be 100 proof. So this is the lowest proof of the line so far, and it also again is the only one that is their distillate. They started bringing their distillers back online in 2012. So that 4-year age statement, 2016 is when they started putting this out. All right. Give this a little bit of shaky. Hello, everybody. How are you? All right, welcome. Okay. All right. I cheated and I read notes and I shouldn't have because I'm going to let those push me. Okay, I'm getting a lot of the oak. I'm getting some black cherry. One of the things that has in common with some of the other ones is there's some really deep down in there tobacco notes. Still got that fruity profile though, just a little bit. Raisins. I get raisins on this. And it is to me oaky. So some of the notes that I read on the nose, notes of molasses, caramel, mint, and cherry cough syrup. Okay, I got the cherry. Delivered in a straightforward way. It's young. Yeah, I'm not getting cough syrup, but I do get dark cherry and raisins. I see the molasses. I don't get the caramel, and I'm not really getting the mint. No. It doesn't nose to me to be particularly thin. Really grabbing to the side of the glasses, nice, and the color is good. It's I wouldn't say it's so far down as to be a copper, but that's a beautiful honey color. Really nice. All right. I got maybe a little mint on that one. It's one of those that you just kind of waft it. Just waft. All right, let's go. All right. Hey, Jonathan, how are you? Welcome to the show. Glad you're here. All right. Right across the front of my tongue is where I got cherry. Breaking Bourbon calls it cherry cough syrup. I don't know that I'd go that far. I don't think it's unpleasant, and I don't like cherry cough syrup at all. I think it gave me a nice burst of cherry right on the sides and the top of my tongue, and then it went into something else. So I'm going to see what else I can find for you. Boy, that finish has got cherry on it, though. Huh. Yeah. That's almost like not cough syrup, but maybe a lozenge. It's real. You gotta be looking for it, but it's there. Especially on the finish for me. All right. I actually like this. I was not expecting to like it based on some of the notes that I read online. It's only a $22 bottle. It's 100 proof, bottled in bond, only available as far as I know in Kentucky. That's what I was told when I bought it. It's only available in Kentucky. Willett Distillery, but it's got some really nice butterscotch on the palate. Excuse me. It's kind of nice mouthfeel too. It's kind of buttery, which is nice. It's not thin. I read one review that they said it was kind of thin, and I don't think it is. To me, this does not have the characteristics of a young whiskey. To me, and I have tasted some that I thought smelled and felt young. One of those that I thought felt young on the mouthfeel, it had a nice flavor to it, was the 90 proof Ezra Brooks. That one to me was, now I got used to it. I got to the point where I could enjoy it, but when I first tried it, I thought, wow, this is really thin. This does not feel thin to me. It's got a nice, silky, buttery type of mouthfeel to it. Hey, Coachella Mike, how are you, Michael? I'm glad you're here. How are you? It's 90 in Ohio today. 90 degrees. So, but it's not real humid. So, we got a dry heat for once. It's kind of nice because Ohio can get really steamy. Anyhow, let's see here. The oak is still there. The oak is really pleasant in this. It's really nicely balanced. It's not as heavy on the palate as it is on the nose. There's some 92 and beautiful. Good, Michael. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it's nice out there. All right. Really nice burst of honey, sweet honey, right in the center of my tongue. That was pleasant. I like that. Yeah, this is a nice bottle. you know, this is going to rival Pure Kentucky as far as, and that finish on that cherry is there, but now I've got a lot of honey on it. A lot of honey on it. Like, a lot. All right, I'm going to finish this up. I was going to go ahead and make another pour and put water in it, but I'm going to drink this. This is one of those I got to wonder what it would be like 2 weeks from now that it's open. I went back to Noah's Mill, and that had settled down some. The first week it was really full of flavor and very fruity and floral, and that had settled down some when I went back to it the next week when I was trying Rowan's Creek. I have not been back to it since. As you can tell, I mean, there's nothing out of that bottle hardly at all. And I haven't been back to the other ones either because these are the only ones I have of some of these. All right, so let's get this on water. And if anybody wants to try them, after seeing me talk about them, I want to be able to have it here so they could do that. All right. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? It's so nice. I'm a nice guy. Came in late. What are you drinking? We are drinking Old Bardstown. This is the 5th in our line of drinks bottles from Willett Distillery. This follows Noah's Mill, Rowan's Creek, Johnny Drum, and Pure Kentucky. And this one is the lowest of the proofs so far. This is bottled in bond, so it's 100 proof. Aged at least 4 years in a government-inspected warehouse. It's $22, Kentucky only. Really tasty. Surprisingly so. Nice mouthfeel. It's all right. Give it a little water. A little H2O. A little agua. All right. Hope that's enough to have done something. That's a pretty decent pour. All right, here we go. Put it on water. Give it a little swim. Here we go. Not much changed. Mouthfeel's still good. The water didn't escalate it. It really didn't bring down that bloom on my tongue, the burn that starts and goes. It didn't really do anything to that. I don't really think it brought out any new flavors either. I'm not necessarily. Hey, Bill, I'm glad you're here. We're doing Old Bardstown, the 5th in our line from Willett Distillery, and I'm finding that I liked it neat. I'm not sure that I like it on water. Maybe I didn't put enough in. It just, I mean, I like it, I guess, because it didn't change. And normally I like it to at least change a little bit. Let's put in a couple more drops. See if that makes a difference. All right. The shirt, this is the symbol from Stave & Thief Society, part of Moonshine University, where I became a certified bourbon steward. And you can do that online. Well, you have to order a book, and the book is like $75. It's not to be taken lightly, and you're studying and you're taking a test. And I don't know, I think there were like 20 questions on the test or something like that. It wasn't like huge, but the step from certified bourbon steward to executive bourbon steward is more like a leap. Much more expensive, much more immersive. And now you can take it online. I don't think I want to take it online. I think I want to go to Moonshine University to become an executive bourbon steward. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that, but I do want to do that. It's like $500 for the day. It's not cheap, but half of that, $250, goes to your sensory kit. So if you wonder how I get these senses, if you're new to the show, or you don't know what I'm talking about when I say, I smell cherry, I smell honey, or whatever. The sensory kits are very expensive, but they have I don't know, 50 different things that you might draw out of a bourbon, like cardamom. I don't know what cardamom smells like. I don't know what it tastes like. So that would be helpful to me, because some people say cardamom. It's like, you're pulling that out of your butt. No. But other things like, cherries, dark cherries, plum, oak, tobacco, leather, things like that you can get a good whiff of and get a good sense of and start to train your sensory perception so that when you taste a bourbon or a rye or a scotch, you can start to pull out the notes. Ooh, this is what I get out of this. And it becomes a little more fun, especially when you're with a group of people, right? Some people are going to love what you don't like, and some people aren't going to like what you love, and that's fun. I just got invited today for another tasting. I did a tasting with the Henry McKenna, and I don't remember what the new tasting was going to be. I think it was Penelope. Somebody invited me to taste Penelope with a group of people, and I'm good. I didn't love Penelope. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. Or was it Pinhook? It was Penelope. Anyway, I thought, I'll go, and I'll try them, and I'll see what people think of it. And if I love it, great. If I don't, I get to hear why people like it or don't like it. And that's the fun thing about it. Drink it how you like it. All right, so I've added a little bit extra water to this, which is not something I normally do. But I really want to see if it changes. Not a lot. The mouthfeel did get a little bit more buttery, which never hurts. That viscosity is really nice on the tongue. The flavors didn't really change a whole lot. That whiskey burn is still there, that bloom. So, I'm not going to tell you that it's any different on water, which I guess could kind of be a good thing. It all depends on how you look at things. All right, let's do this and then. All right. Yeah, the viscosity did improve with a little more water. So it was about a pinch and a half of this stuff. Just filtered osmosis water. Not limestone or any of the gimmicky stuff. It's just reverse osmosis water. Ain't nothing to it, really. Okay, so I made some more ice spheres. Gorgeous ice spheres. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I needed to make some more. It was time. So I made 4 of them this week. I don't want to get ahead of myself because they'll get all crusty and icy in the freezer. All right. Okay. And you know what else I did? I planned ahead. I did. I did. Watch this. I don't have to use my finger. I might have to. This is not. There we go. I don't have to stir it. I don't have to. But I want to because I want to get that nice and cold without that ice sphere melting too much. All right. That should do it. All right. You ready? That oak is still there. Pulling out some caramels now. Or maybe it's that molasses. No, it's more like caramel. It's a darker caramel, but it's there. Little different. Mouthfeel. Not as buttery on ice. You mute things when it's on ice. You mute the flavors. You mute the mouthfeel. Everything's muted. Just know that. If you like it on ice, then you like it on ice. If I want a cold drink, like last night I wanted a cold drink. I started to pour myself a bourbon. It wasn't this one. I shouldn't be pointing at this one. It's not this one. Nope. I started to pour myself a bourbon, and then I thought, the house is a little warm. I think I'd like a cold drink. Well, I don't ice down my bourbon, and the only way I'm going to make it cold is if I make a cocktail. And I wasn't in the mood for a cocktail, so Fred Minnick, I'm sorry. I drank vodka. I did. I've been getting into the vodka again lately. I had some Tito's last week. I had some Grey Goose a few nights ago. Last night I had Kettle One. They're all decent vodkas. I think my favorite is Stolichnaya. But you know, it is beautiful bourbon and splendid spirits, so we can talk about other things. We can drink other things. Maybe I'll do a vodka night if we have I don't know, this is a vodka holiday. I haven't seen one. Gin Day will be coming up at some point. If you wanted to use this in a cocktail, you could. It holds up on ice and on water. I don't know how long it would hold up. You know, if you drink things relatively quickly, like I do, it'll hold up. If you are a teetotaler and it takes you 45 minutes to go through a cocktail, then it may not hold up. But the rest of the flavors will all continue to blend together, and it'll be good. Yeah, I think I love it the most neat. Although adding an ounce and a half of water was, or actually a milliliter and a half of water did improve the mouthfeel just a little bit, but it didn't need it. It was good the way it was. So, I can tell you, if you're ever in Kentucky and you get around and you find a bottle of Old Bardstown, I'd say to pick it up, because I like this. Now, you should pick up all the Willett and try it. You may not like it. It may be too floral for you, or too fruity for you, or something like that, but I've liked this series so far. And next week, we cap it off. This is the Willett Family Rye. The straight rye whiskey. Family estate bottled small batch rye. This is a little bit higher in proof, 110.4. This one is also actually Willett Distillate. Willett Distillate. I put the syllable in the wrong place. Syllable. So these two are the only two. The pot still, which I have not tried. Well, here. The pot still may be theirs as well, but I think that's sourced as well. I think these are the only two that are actual Willett Distillate. There, I said it. Okay? Or distillate. But this is coming up next week, and I think we're going to have a guest, and he's going to bring a little surprise along with him. So we'll do these two, or this one and possibly another one next week on Beautiful Bourbon. All right. Let's see if I'm missing anything. Penelope. Okay, it was Penelope. All right. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. All right. So that is it, right? It's another Thursday, and it's over with. I will be drinking more bourbon tonight. It's not going to be any of these, I don't think. That Old Bardstown, that's the only one I have of that. Although it's $22. I think it was I think it was allocated. I think it was just you could only buy one, even though it's cheap because it's only in Kentucky. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been a while since I bought that bottle. It's been about 1.5 years since I bought that bottle. But anyway, so thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. This is so much fun for me, and it's about to get a lot more fun. I'll tell you more about that next week when we have our guest and when we have our very last in the Willett Distillery series. So check us out on YouTube. They have this new thing. It's called a handle. We're at Beautiful Bourbon. The conversation's kind of cool there, just like it is here. So it's interesting to see what the different groups of people are saying about things, which is fun. And then, of course, Instagram, that's gotten so boring. I'm doing it occasionally. Excuse me. But Instagram's boring. I don't, unless you're doing reels, which I don't really do. Maybe I should start, but that's just more. That's just more. Doing YouTube shorts, and then, of course, the blog. So behind. so behind. By the way, just so you know, and so I know. I'm going to tell you where we are in the Bourbcast sphere. This is number, excuse me, eyeballs, 150. 158. Unreal. I tried 158 different bourbons here for you and for me. So it's been fun. I've really enjoyed it. And we're going to keep it going until I'm not doing it anymore. However long that will be. How long's Fred Minnick been doing it? How long's been everybody else? Years. But they get stuff sent to them. I got to buy all my stuff. Yeah, I'm not a hobo. I'm no hobo. Okay. All right, you guys, you have a wonderful what's left of your week and have a fantastic, nice, warm, sweaty weekend. And we will see you next Thursday with this bad boy right here as we complete our Willett series on beautiful bourbon. You guys have a good one, and we'll talk to you next week.